you like me to leave? I'm like, I just want things to be matter of fact. When would you like me to leave? And then he will flip the conversation like, oh, so you're deciding to go of your own accord. I'm like, what are you doing? Why are you doing this? I'm like, do you want me to leave? Yes or no? It's your house. And I've told him, these are your kids. Do you have a plan for once I leave? Do I need to like find a replacement? And so he just wanted all of it to just be up in the air to like make it my fault. Like, oh, look how you've inconvenienced me. Now I have no support. Like, so he dragged that out for like weeks. And I was so miserable that I actually had to write the NDA. Do you understand how nice I am? I'm like, this man was...
You wrote an NDA?
He was too lazy to protect himself, and I know my integrity, but I also wanted to protect my rights by getting in writing that as long as he just did two things, which was one, give me an appropriate amount of time to move out, and two, do not tarnish my name, because I didn't want him to make up lies for me after I left, because I'm like, everybody who comes in here is, apparently turns out to be a monster. I'm like, while he knew that we were on decent terms, whatever, I'm like, I put the other thing is to give me the glowing recommendation that I deserve, and I would only, and pretty much I swore to not have what is it called? I swore that I did not have any, I didn't know Cora coming in. I didn't have any malicious financial or legal interests in this case at all. I had no knowledge of it. So I put that all in writing because this man was harassing me because he was paranoid that he paranoid one day that like I was just working for Cora. And I'm like, what is going on? And he started treating me like an enemy. And he's like, I don't know what you're plotting. And I'm like, what could I be plotting against you? And he accused me, or he told me that he thought I was trying to set him up to sue him for discrimination. And I'm like, what are you, discrimination against what? And he's like, I don't know. You might claim like I'm racist as an employer. And I was just so miserable, so desperate for peace of mind that I'm like, I will put in writing that I will not classify you like legally as my employer. So great. You are free. You are off the hook to be abusive, and you won't go to jail as an employer. Like that's how miserable I was. And I'm like, and again, he didn't write it. And it took him like 3 days to sign it, by the way. So for him to try to pretend that he wants peace of mind, this man took no action to have peace of mind. And actually, when I gave him the NDA, he smirked because and he's like, actually, can I look at it on Monday? And I'm like, oh, you want to extend this. Like, I'm miserable and I want my peace of mind, and you don't trust me. And I'm giving you this document that is extremely generous that you were too lazy to write. And now you want to like, I have stuff to do. I'll look at the document later. Like, really? Your biggest thing is trying to keep your kids, and you don't have time to sign an NDA? That's crazy.
Did you ever meet Cora?
The only time I met her was when I had the scary time that I had to hand this lady the restraining order. That was it.
You handed her the restraining order?
That is why I was upset. Yes, because I told him, I'm like, I am opposed to this. First of all, I don't agree with him, so I was not going to be a henchman if I didn't agree with the cause. And he waited till the last minute on the day of. He said he would find someone else. And like maybe 30 minutes before he left, he's just like, oh, hey, are you getting dressed? Are you coming? And I'm like, excuse me. So it was a very clever like setup. But I'm like, I know people are upset at me like, oh, you betrayed a Black woman. I'm like, no one is more annoyed about that than me. Okay. But it was realistically for me, I'm like, if I said no, I knew that I would have to live in a house with an angry man who hates his ex-wife. And he told me, he's like, well, this is going to be my only opportunity to give it to her before the court case, because this is the only time I know where she is and she's outside. And I'm like, oh, Jesus Christ. So I was...
What did court say to you?
Nothing. It was that fast. She was shocked. And I'm like, and I felt so bad because I'm like, oh, she's so pretty, and I was...
Did you say you've been served? I mean, like, what did you just walk up to her?
Literally, I just said, hi, this is for you. And then I walked away. I put a hood on. I looked so suspicious. I'm like, I didn't want her
to... Did she know you were the nanny?
No, I mean, the point was I decided I wanted to present as a stranger. I'm like, I told him several times, I do not want to be a character in this story at all. So that's why, like, no one has heard of me for all this time. Cause I'm like, again, I was happy to have the NDA, our contract honored, happy to shut up and not be financially inconvenienced and just move on with our lives. So there would have been none of that. This man.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
So
I need therapy. Can I get enough coffee for therapy? Jeez.
So that's what I was going to say. Did you tell him to go to therapy? Have you ever told him? Because you said he was
yeah. And
depressed.
he said he tried like therapy once or twice, and he's like they don't give any real advice, or they kind of just tell you, oh, think about your feelings, and he's like that's all I've done is kind of think about it and just be angry, but he's thinking about the wrong things and ruminating on it.
But what is he angry about? He thinks that Cora destroyed his business.
Yeah.
Or do you think that he's really legit angry that they divorced?
I think, I think he has a pattern, and this is the calculation I was making on my mirror, if he would mind his business. I think the pattern is that he goes for a woman who, he feels like would elevate his status or add to his clout or make him look more interesting. And once he gets her, like it's very much a conquest thing, once he gets her and gets what he needs, he gets bored, and then he feels like he's entitled to an upgrade. Because before, even if he idolized that woman, the fact that and I know this with Cora, he literally was like, when I saw this woman, the first thing that was in my mind, the first thing I thought was breed. And I'm like, are you, what?
Breed?
Like animal? Yeah. I posted that.
So
yeah. Mm-hmm. Breed.
So wait a minute. Hold on. So when he first saw Cora, he knew he wanted her to have his babies.
Yeah. And I didn't even want to say that because I cannot imagine already, like, as Cora going through all this BS and just having just even knowing that somebody thought of me in such a nasty way from the beginning. So and I'm like, and again, I'm like, why would you tell this to me? So I'm like, it was the emotional weight on me because he doesn't really have friends. Like, I'm the only person who's there all the time. It was just unloading all of his mental garbage on me. And I'm like, I didn't need to know that you thought that. So from when he told me that, I figured out, I'm like, oh, okay. So he knows that he wanted certain type of children. He knows that he wanted certain characteristics. He wanted them to be strong. He wanted whatever. And he
wanted some mixed babies.
Right. And he found a vessel, which I hate to say, a vessel to have his children. And I'm like, that has to be why it was so easy for him to walk away right after she had it. Because she had completed her job. That's what he came for. That's what he chose.
That's disgusting.
I know. And when I found that out, I'm like, oh, that's how I know that I'm like, this man, if he can do it to his wife, let me just pack up my things and leave with as little conflict as possible. Yeah. And then and I think because he left her and she is thriving, now he's upset because he thought he could upgrade, but she's living a better life than him.
So he wanted to trade Cora in for somebody better, right? But now that she's doing better, that's what angers him.
Oh, of course. Of course.
That fuels him. God. I kind of knew that. I kind of knew that. Now, what do you think his main goal after the divorce because you met him after the divorce, right? Or did you meet him before or while he was going through the divorce?
No, just after.
You met him after the divorce. I'm talking about the divorce signed, filed and signed.
I mean, I guess it had to be after because it was just March or April of this year.
Oh, this year. Oh, yeah. Okay. So, we're gonna come back to something else, but it may be second interview because I don't want to keep you too long because I want us to talk and then I want us to have an official interview. Like, I'm going to get a list of questions to ask you this is an impromptu interview, you guys, but I'm going to get a list of questions to ask you. But I do want to ask you, what was his intentions for Cora? I know you said that he didn't expect her to do well, but when he was striking her page and trying to get the kids taken away from her and all this stuff, what was his main goal for Cora? Did he discuss that with you?
Well, I know his main goal in general is full custody. And so why I worked so hard for free, because I'm like, if this man is hell-bent, he's a very determined human, he's hell-bent on doing this, I know that I'm not going to be here forever. He asked me to be there for 2 years. And I'm like, that's a long time, I'll see. So I try to stay as long as I could to get these girls to be self-sufficient and learn to clean themselves and just do basic things to take care of themselves. Because I'm like, you are not currently equipped to have 2 girls full time. Like, you don't have all the tools, and you don't care to develop the skills. So I know that was his main goal, and it was just he was obsessed with the argument that Cora's not a good parent. I don't know about any of this. And that's why it was so hard for me. Like, I don't even want to commit to, I don't even want to say picking a side. I mean, obviously it's not Justin's side, but I'm like, I was neutral, but I don't know. I can't attest to how good of a parent Cora is. The kids seem happy around her.
There's no perfect parent in this world. You do know that, right? You don't have
absolutely.
kids, so you probably don't know yet. But trust me when I tell you, there is no perfect parent. Okay.
Yeah. But now, all of his claims were that she was the one exploiting kids, selling pictures of them, taking pictures, all this stuff.
But she was a good parent when they was together, though, and it was okay for the babies to be online when they were together. But now all of a sudden, now that they're not together, she's this horrible person. And she's exploiting kids. So what was it called when they were together? Were they both exploiting the kids then?
Gotcha.
Do you understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So it's now that he doesn't want her to share the kids. It's now that she's such this horrible person, you know?
Yeah. Yeah. And I think it's just because she has a bigger platform than him, right? So if he has the kids and he's filming whatever, sure, he'll make some money, but she's going to be making way more and he can't have that. So it's like, if I can't do it, no one can.
In your opinion, do you think he's a good parent, or do you wish to comment on that?
In the beginning, like in the first few months, I did, and I was inspired by, like, you know, how much he loved his kids and played with his girls. But then as time went on and he started dating, I could see that I'm like, his attention is really not there when he is bringing these women into his life. And it's kind of just, I don't know, the kids are just spending a lot of like idle time. He doesn't have activities to do with them. So it's like they're just kind of sitting there. It's unorganized. They don't have a bedtime. They don't sleep in a specific bedroom. They get to kind of rotate randomly. So it's like, it's chaos. And he will not try to add
no structure.
Yeah. And that's why I really, it's hard for me to try to respect the women who go there and stay there. Because I'm like, why are you supporting this? Why are you, you know, he invited you for a date. You're trying to watch a movie. The kids are running around at 1 a.m. Like, what is this? And so it's strange. But my main thing.
So he would have women over there and the kids just running around.
Yeah. The women would help.
He could just spend 1 week, one whole week without bringing women to his home. Why did he go over their house? If he had you as the nanny, why he couldn't go over the females' homes?
Yeah, I mean, he went maybe twice he came back at like 2 a.m. I think. So a couple of times he went to their house, but he was very comfortable bringing them back to us or back to the house. And I was, and he kept trying to get me to like meet them. And I'm like, no, thank you. This is weird. I'm like, let me know when a woman is coming over so I cannot be in the room. I don't want to sit here in my Black presence and have me look like I'm co-signing, like, oh, he's a cool guy, I am vouching for him. Absolutely not. So he got upset at that, and he's like, wow, you're so hostile, you're so like whatever. But yeah, random women at the house. I'm happy that the girls have not noticed yet, but I think it's definitely odd. I don't know what the situation is. He told me that Cora is like not great to them, and they don't really have a mother, and that's why they call like everybody mom. So that was something that I'm like, okay, maybe, I don't know.
So they call everybody, they call these girls did they call you mother? Mom?
Yeah, but I'm like, that is.
Oh my God. He allowed the girls to call you mom?
But that's the thing. He allows, it's just Athena specifically. He allows her to call any woman mom, and he does not correct her.
Oh my God.
And that is a bone that I had to pick with him.
That pissed me off.
I know. And so like I posted something today where like Athena was calling me mom, and I deleted it later, but I had to put a disclaimer, like, I would never try to replace anybody's mom. I have respect for the creator of these children. But I was uncomfortable because I'm like, I subscribe to, you know, it takes a village, you know, we're all in this together. But I would be on the side, hey, I'm an auntie, I'm a friend, you know? So
he'll be mad as freak.
Right. So
if she allowed those girls to call somebody else daddy.
But he said she did. So I'm like, it's so hard to know what's true and what's not. And so I'm like,
who did she allow? Like who?
I know, it's a lot. But one thing that he refused to do is clarify sort of and make any sort of boundaries, because he likes the ambiguity, he loves the confusion, does not care how it affects the kids. So other people would come to the house, and Athena would like call them mom. And before, it was me and another Black woman, and of course she just so happened to be Haitian. And Athena called her mom, and the lady, I think this is the first time anyone has ever told Athena directly, "Hey, I'm not your mom, sweetie." And Athena, I'm like, oh God, it was so heartbreaking to watch. She was like, "Oh, sorry," and she came to me, and I'm like, "Oh my God, I'm so sorry,
my
sweetie."
God. She said, "Oh, sorry."
Yeah, she was so embarrassed. Oh, it hurt me. Oh my God. And I'm telling him, and I'm like, it's not, and he's like, "Wow, that's a rude thing to tell a kid." I'm like, it's nobody's job to protect your children but you. Okay? That is no strange woman has to be okay with, pretending that she's your child's mom. Nobody has to do that. So when I've told him, I'm like, "Hey, just let her know. Just have a conversation with her. She's smart. She'll get it eventually." And he's like, "Oh, she'll grow out of it." So it's like very passive parenting, and I hate it. Oh God.
Now, somebody said this. I don't even know how to ask this, but somebody said he don't really care for Athena that much. He's more of a Junie dad, friend or whatever. Did you see?
I think he loves them both equally.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
But if anything, Athena is more similar to him, and they do have their their one-on-one moments, and it's like very cute. So yeah, I don't think there's no favoritism.
So now, was you there? I don't think you were though, actually. Were you there when the lady that came, Crystal, they call her Zoe, when she came and watched the kids for a weekend or something like that? Were you there? I don't think you were, because you said you wasn't aware of her.
Yeah, Crystal. Do you know when that was?
Mother's friend. I don't know. Do anybody know the time frame that Crystal went there to watch the kids, and she took those pictures and had them floating around the social media with her little WhatsApp group?
Was this the person who took inappropriate photos?
Yeah, the one that took inappropriate photos.
Oh, jeez. Yikes.
Do you know her?
No.
They said it was in 2022, so you wouldn't know her. Okay.
Yeah, no.
Thank y'all for letting me know that.
Right.
So you wouldn't know her, but he protected her and covered for her.
Really? I was confused about that, because was it Athena sitting on the potty, or was it something more serious?
Yeah. Okay. It was Athena sitting on the potty, and she pulled her shirt above her head, and Athena was trying to cover up her little poo-poo area, and she moved her hand away from covering it up or whatever. For what? I don't know. It's really weird. I seen the video and the photos, and it was really weird.
Oh,
and he probably only showed you just one or maybe one photo.
But that's the thing, and I'm like, there's no vetting process for the women who come in this house. Like, this man is fully, and I'm like, and I only know this so matter of factly because my father unfortunately is this kind of way. So I'm like, I know somebody who, like, my dad specifically targets immigrant women because he knows that they are least likely to speak their truth. They're already scared in this country. So this man is just assuming that all women are naturally have motherly instincts, and it's impossible for women to also be pedophiles. Because I'm like, there's no process for checking that.
Oh, yeah, it's dangerous, and that's not in the best interest of your child.
And that's why I stayed so long. People are like, "Oh, if you're miserable, why did you leave?" And I'm like, because I don't want kids to, people to be touching kids inappropriately. Is why I stayed. And I didn't know anything about Cora, so I'm like, I was not, and still, I'm like, people were telling me to report to CPS. I don't know if Cora is in good standing with CPS, so I don't want to intervene and have a worst case scenario where the kids go to neither of the parents. If the judge is like, you guys are both chaotic, these kids are in the system, I don't want to have a hand in that. So that's my stance.
Does he spank the children? Has he ever punished them or disciplined them?
No.
He just let them kind of run around. Do they have their own dedicated room, or they just, like you say, just crash wherever?
They do have their own room, but it's like there's no structure, so they'll fall asleep literally anywhere at any time. Like it's I don't know, it's chaotic.
They sleep in the bedroom with him?
Just sometimes if it's like it's just if they want to, but he treasures his time now because he knows that soon they'll be over it. But it's definitely not anything strange.
Okay. Now I could tell the girls love their dad.
Yeah, they do. And I'm like, and at the beginning, that's why I took so many pictures and videos, because I was in awe. And I'm like, this is so beautiful. I love seeing daddy-daughter relationships like this. I love seeing a dad who is happy to be a dad. And I'm like, oh, never mind.
When it's time for them to go to their mother, are they crying and kicking and screaming and not wanting to go?
So I've only personally seen that maybe 1.5 times. But for June, it could just be she didn't want to leave her iPad at home in that moment. So I'm like, I can't say for sure. But that's something that I was paying attention to and trying to discern. But he's told me, he was like, it's been like this for like the past year or two. She never wants to go back to her mom. And I'm like, I don't know if that's an exaggeration or not. But he said
I can tell that she loves her mom, but I can also tell that there's structure, some type of structure with Cora, right?
Yeah.
And maybe not so much with dad, like because he feeds them whatever.
Oh my God.
Whatever the hell they want to eat.
Garbage, yeah.
And she cooks for them, and they may not, when we're younger, we don't appreciate home cooking.
Exactly. And that's part of why I was trying to call him out. And like, when my dad would watch all of us, like let's say my mom was on a trip, I'm like, that's the worst we would eat. I'm like, that the house would feel like feral. And I'm like, and that's how I would describe his house, when it's like kind of just him in charge. And I'm like, there's no specific dinner time. The food is just whatever canned stuff or just whatever like unhealthy, starchy BS he can throw together, or like cheap meat from like Key Food. And he's like, oh, what is it? I ate like this when I was a kid. And I'm like, this is okay. You should want your kids to be healthier than you, but okay. And he's like bragging about how he used to eat like food from food stamps. And I'm like, you're a whole doctor, allegedly, right? Why would you even imagine your kids in the same situation? So it's like not great food, like kind of hard to digest, like really, I don't know, just not good food. And it's kind of like, I don't know, just kids doing their best, where it's like, instead of a dad like raising them and washing them, it's like, oh, dad's just gonna hold down the fort as a babysitter for a few days. Like, that is the vibe.
Did when you came aboard, was there a contract that you signed that said that you are to do this, that, or the other?
No, and that's the thing. I think he is not a contract person, because a contract means that something is written down and it is uncontestable. And he likes to go back on his word. So even if we spoke of a contract, he never gave me one. And I agreed from the beginning. I'm like, hey, you should write an NDA. I'm happy to sign it. I've signed one before. So I'm like, someone who likes chaos is not going to put in the work to make anyone sign anything, because it is to their benefit when things turn chaotic.
But did he just say you are to watch the kids, or did he say watch the kids, clean up, cook, do their hair, give them a bath?
No, he said just watch the kids. So I was proactive in asking questions and like, okay, what do they do for dinner? Do you need me to make food or whatever? And at the beginning, he's like, he was pretty good about it. And he's like, no, you don't need to clean my house. I don't want you to do that. You don't need to cook. He's like, just watch the kids. I can do the rest. But when he like fell into like a deep depression, I'm like, okay, well, the house is just nasty, and I have to clean this for me because I also exist here. And it's like, and for your girls, because they should not have to live in this. I had to clean out his car, so it was filled with food, and then like drink cans. Like it was bad. It was bad. So I'm like, that's part of why I'm annoyed, because I did a lot just as a friend for free as a gift, because I thought it would help him be the best version of himself for his kids. But I'm like, oh, wow, I wasted a bunch of my time.
Wow.
Yeah, it's disappointing.
So I have to ask you another question. Do you feel rejected? Do you feel like he rejected you? Because,
in what way? You mean like romantically?
No, not romantically. Romantically, like rejected as a friend or...
for sure. I would say the word is more so betrayed, because I was genuine and I felt like we got along very, very well. And it was not until I started telling him ways in which he needed to step up as a parent that he started getting annoyed, and kind of, I'm sure, was plotting in the background, talking to these girls on Instagram or whatever apps, plotting on like a replacement. But obviously it would be a replacement who would be probably romantically linked to him because he's back in that era. But yeah, I mean, just betrayed or rejected in terms of friendship, and just human decency and expectations. Because we did, there was no reason, if I didn't do anything to him, there was no reason to kind of just kick me out abruptly or make sure that we never had any closure on picking a date that he would like me to exit. Because the whole point was for it to be ambiguous, so he can just be like, "Why are you still here? Why are you?" And I'm like, well, he said that to me, and I'm like, "Oh, let me pack my stuff," like to make me seem like I was a piece of dirt or a scum that was lingering in his house. That was.
He asked you, "Why are you still here?" Oh,
yeah, he had a friend. I think you guys probably know her, but he had a friend at the house, and I unfortunately like broke down in front of her because I'm like, this is a Black woman. I have to tell somebody what is going on to validate my reality because this is insane. And while I was just trying to talk to her, he like intercepted me in the hallway. He's like, don't talk to my friends. Why are you talking to my friends? Meanwhile, we were chatting all morning. She spoke to my mom. It was pleasant. And so I'm like, hey, can I just speak to you as a woman? And he was trying to like not let that happen. So I asked her to like come in my room. We chatted for a little bit, and then I get out, and then he's like, why are you still here? Why are you in my house? So I'm like, to be spoken to like that, I'm wow. I have to leave immediately. So it wasn't even like, it was, I don't know. He was just extremely cold, and I'm like, I don't know this man anymore, so I'm not going to beg or plead or reason with him. I just have to figure it out now.
So you actually, let me get rid of this person right quick. Hold on. There you go. Happy hunting. What was I about to say? So he told you that he didn't want you to cook for the kids, so you didn't cook for them?
No, I did. I had to step up because he was not. The thing is, when he didn't do it, he does not have the communication to effectively pass that task off to someone else. He doesn't ask. So that's something that made me anxious. I had to keep just like, oh, hey, what are the kids having for dinner? And he's like, oh, I don't know yet. And I'm like, well, it's 8:00 now. Would you like me to make something in the air fryer? Like, it was just forgetfulness. And I'm like, if you want to be the sole parent, who's going to remind you these things? So that's why I felt a bit used, because I'm like, I'm not your assistant, but I had to kind of step up and do that because, again, the kids would have just been an afterthought maybe. Mm-hmm. So yeah, that is my piece. I think I have.
I'm gonna ask you one more question, and then we're gonna you and I talk on the back end and schedule another interview. How long from the time y'all met on Tinder did you move in?
It was very fast. It was like a week, I'll be honest.
What?
Yeah.
1 week.
And so it's crazy. I'm like, for him, yes. I'm like, for me as someone with no kids, I can understand, hey, that's probably not the smartest thing. You're a young woman. But I'm like, I know that specifically I was, in a desperate situation, and I was paying for housing like by the week or like by the day wherever I was. But I'm like, yes, as a parent, and that's why I offered him, like, hey, you can do a background check. You want me to sign an NDA? Because there was just such a low barrier to entry. And I was concerned as well. I'm like, you shouldn't just trust me. I know I'm trustworthy, but you don't know that.
Right. That's crazy. So did you guys at least meet up before then?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, for sure.
So you had met up already, and then, he thought he was pretty cool. And then he says, oh, you want to be a live-in nanny? Or did you think that you was just going to be a nanny to come over? Or you was like, look, I need a place to stay.
No, but I just kind of piggybacked off of what he said, that he was going to already like offer whoever he hires. Yeah, he said he needs a live-in nanny. Like he was like specific about that. And I'm like, oh, hey, I'll be honest, I also need a place to live. Do you think this could be the solution? So I think it was like,
so you offered that.
Yeah. And so I'm like, I didn't it's just, I just didn't anticipate being kind of like overworked and undersupported. I don't know. It was.
Where were you staying before you moved in with him?
There's like a co-living house It's kind of like I guess an upgraded hostel somewhere in
like
LA. Yeah.
Yeah.
And so it was nice, but I'm like, it made me anxious to keep just paying or asking my sister to help me pay for whatever, because I had run out of, I had like short-term disability just for 3 months, and I'm like, I was scrambled trying to figure out everything at once. So I did not.
People keep saying why you didn't report him to CPS, but you have to understand this young lady is 29 years old. She probably don't know a whole lot about CPS. Like everybody don't know about CPS like me. Yeah. I'm 52 and I don't know nothing really about no CPS.
But I'll be honest, I grew up in Brooklyn where a lot of kids, I mean, my siblings and I, we know this now, we've gotten therapy. It's like, realistically, if anyone would have called CPS on our parents, which many people were within their rights to do, like I have an aunt who's a social worker, and she kind of like confronted our parents, and she's like, I have a duty to like report this, blah, blah, blah. And my parents got so offended. And like, bad parents always do get offended. But the reality is that sometimes having bad parents is a bit safer than having horrible people who you are not related to at all raise you. So I'm like, I know, like, I guess it's the right thing to do technically, but I'm like, we don't know the outcome of that. We don't know if they go into the foster care system, who's going to have them? Because I'm like, nobody else is offering a solution. I'm like, are you guys stepping up to adopt these kids? What's the next safest option if CPS does get involved and the kids get sent to foster care? What are they going to do?
Right. I know.
So like, everyone's a genius until it's time for solutions.
So now you live with your sister in New York, though, right?
Yeah, we're in an Airbnb for this month.
Are you in an Airbnb right now?
Mm-hmm.
Both of y'all or just you?
It's both of us.
Wow. So what are you gonna do? Because New York is just as expensive as California.
I know it's more expensive. I'm applying to jobs, which is kind of why I just like deleted all the stuff I posted.
Not on Tinder though, right? You're not.
No, my God, no. I have a LinkedIn and a very legitimate career, which is why I was overqualified for the volunteer work I was doing.
Why is he? I'm just curious. I'm so sorry, I cut you off. Mm-hmm. Why is he on Tinder if he's being straight up saying he's not looking for a relationship? Who goes on a dating website and say they're not looking for? Well, I mean, I guess they do. So
it's to the cover story is to network. Essentially, he is looking for models to quote unquote work with. And shoot videos.
He's looking for him some little coochie.
Of course. But
he wants some little coochie. Yeah, that's what he wanted. He want him some little black coochie. That's what he want.
He literally brags to me about how easy it is and like how Black girls kind of have the lowest standard amongst all races. He's like, oh, I just the blue check. It just works. I don't have to do anything. And I'm like, oh, I'm disgusted. And that's
why. Is he good in bed, girl?
Huh?
Is he good in bed?
No comment. No comments. I've never seen a bed. I don't know what a bed is.
Oh, Jesus. Oh, Lord. Well, I mean, Cora already kind of told us a little bit about, she suffered a little bit, suffered.
Wait, in the bedroom?
Well, I mean, yeah. I'm assuming. maybe that was Brianna. Hold on. I might be on the wrong woman, honey.
No,
I don't even know if Cora ever said anything about him in the bedroom. Mm-hmm, but I think she did say she's never had an orgasm. So damn.
Hilarious.
She did say she's never had an orgasm. Lord.
2 babies and no orgasm is crazy.
I mean, it's possible.
That's crazy. Wow. She's a generous woman. Good for her. Bless her heart.
But he said so he told you it was so easy for him to get a girlfriend or whatever because of the blue check.
Yeah, but specifically Black girls have the lowest standard amongst all races of Black women. He's like it's because they just typically expect less.
So he told you that Black girls have lower standards?
Yeah, he's like if he goes on a date with a girl, he's like, if I just buy, if I'm out with a Black girl and I buy her dinner, she kind of. He's like, I don't believe in it. It's kind of gross, but we end up having sex because she kind of feels like that's how to say thank you, or she owes me, or she's like grateful. And I'm like,
what the fuck?
That's why I'm telling you. I'm like, it's not just that's what I'm saying. I'm like, it's not just like, oh, I'm living in filth and I'm just jealous that this guy is dating. I'm like, no, I'm horrified and I want him off these platforms because he does not respect these women he's trying to be inside of, and it's disgusting.
Oh, if he
exactly.
Women, I'm gonna need you guys to come near. Stop giving your kuta away for some damn steak, baby.
Literally. And it made me, it hurt my self-esteem for so long because I'm like, what? Because now I'm like, damn.
So what did you say when he said that, you being a Black woman? What did you say?
I mean, I also probably emailed him about this. One of my many racial complaints. Yeah, I think I just told him, I'm like, that is disgusting. That is kind of, and he's like, pretty much he can just like sit back. He doesn't really have to do any work. You know, he's like, I don't have to slide in DMs. They slide into my DMs, and I kind of just pick who to respond to, and then eventually pick who to invite over. Like that's the process.
People sliding into Justin's DMs.
It's sad.
Where are we coming from?
And that's why. That's why
I hope y'all are listening. And I wonder, do other white men feel that way? That is, and
that's what I'm saying. And I'm like, so it's not even like, oh, I'm jealous he's with other women. I'm like, no, I'm disgusted, and I would like to help as many women as I can avoid that. Like, it's just now, like, just as a Black woman, as a feminist, I don't want women going out sad knowing that this man is just a conquest. And I feel like it's, there's a bit of a smirk to it where he's kind of like laughing at us as Black women or as Black people.
So Black women are jumping in his inbox and he just picking one. Let me see. Oh, you Black women better stay out of that man inbox.
That's why I'm like so disgusted, because the woman he did the dirtiest, he could now use her to be like, oh, I've had Black women before. Look at this beautiful woman. Look at my ex. And I'm like, come on.
So now, did you jump in his inbox or did he jump in yours?
No. I have a
true.
screenshot. I'm 90% sure he messaged me first. I was not gonna message him first. And again, this is Tinder, but women are fully like in the Instagram DMs, And
so now, but when you went, so did you see proof that women are in his DMs?
No, but I'm like, from the frequency of women who were in the house, and when I would ask him like, oh, where did you meet? He would be pretty honest about it. And I can confirm that he does have his Hinge settings set to all Black, which is also gross.
I'm glad Cora is, oh my God.
And I'm actually, it's the one thing that I'm upset about. I'm like, I do not judge this woman, but if I could go back in time to stop one wrong in the world, it would be to stop her from ever giving this man a chance. Because I'm like, it just led to so much entitlement. Oh.
She don't know. I mean, I think she knows. I think she does know that she dated down. She married down. She did. She married a
and he is kind of insecure. He did ask me when he first showed me her. He's like, do you think we're kind of like on the same level? And I'm like, she's nice for giving you a chance. Let's say that.
So wait a minute. So he showed you her picture and was like, he wanted you to answer, do you think him and Cora are on the same level?
Yeah, he's insecure.
So he already thinks Cora is higher than him, and she is, but he knows that Cora.
Someone broke up with him at the house after staying there for like a week or two while the kids were there. Had played house, had a whole little fake family there, and then when she like broke up with him, I was like listening to him while he was venting, and he's like, well, she was not even that pretty. It's not like she's Cora. I'm like, ooh, this man is wounded.
Wait a minute. Hold on. So somebody broke up with him and he said, oh, it's not like it was Cora?
Yeah, just in terms of her appearance.
So did you ever ask him, would he ever get back with Cora? I'm nosy, child.
That's funny. No, I didn't ask him, but I'm like, I know that, I mean, in his heart of hearts, it seems like that's who he wants to be with, but his ego would never let him forgive what he thinks she's done. I don't know if she cheated or not, but that's the story. He will not compromise on that, even though he probably yearns for her on a daily basis.
So he want him some moist, is what you're saying. He want the moist.
Ew. Yeah.
Do you know anything about the moist?
Yeah.
I'm only saying that because he came out and said that they named a club after her in
That's what he
Nigeria.
told me, and I'm like, I don't even know what I can believe, but I'm like, if so, good for her, because she is inspirational, and he didn't appreciate it. Oh well.
All right, so check your phone right quick because I just sent you a text. Tell me if you received it.
Let's see. Oh yes. Oops. Yes. Let me text you back.
Okay, respond back right quick. Okay, gotcha.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
You and I are going to talk. We are going to schedule an official interview for you. And yeah, we'll talk behind the scenes, you and I, and I'm going to bring you back. And I'll let the people know when you're going to come back, and I'll have some more. I have some questions that I'll give you ahead of time. Mm-hmm. And that way you could be a little bit better prepared in speaking on things that people want to know. Okay.
Okay. Yeah, that sounds good.
Thank you, sweetheart, so very much. Everybody tell Najiba thank you, and she will come back, okay?
Yes. And thank you for the people who sent me copies. I appreciate it. It's very cute.
Okay. Yeah, somebody said I'll send you a copy, Najiba. Okay, so her copy link is pinned to the top. So if you want to drop her some love for the things that she did share, but she's coming back and we're going to get into more details, but I need her to be comfortable with me first, okay? This is our first encounter, all right? So she said, Amore, can you ask, do he stink? People want to know.
I wish
my parents want to know, does he smell,
That's
girl?
Crazy. He does not smell bad. Does he have streaks in his underwear that he leaves around? That's a different question, but he does not smell bad.
Did you say?
I'm like, if laundry's laying around the house, I'm just gonna do all the laundry, you know.
That grown ass man got streaks. I mean, damn.
I'm not kidding when I tell you that I have to personally, as a woman, teach these girls hygiene, because I'm like, he's not teaching them to wipe the right way if he can't even wipe his own butt. Literally.
Cara must have been giving him a shower. I know she was shaving him.
Stop it. Not someone said doo-doo draws. Not doo-doo draws.
Somebody said skid marks.
Literally. Jeez. Yes. So I want his girls to be clean. Like he knows that he grew up like on a farm outside.
Sweet B said white men don't take baths every day.
Girl, he was just soaking the kids in water. There was no soap.
In the house?
That was the bath.
But I'm saying he had soap in the house. The kids just didn't have soap.
Yeah, he had probably like body wash for him. There was no soap near the tub or used once they were in the bath. They're just splashing around in some water, and he's complaining that Athena had eczema, and he's like, it's her mom's fault for sure. And I'm like, you sure it's not the parent who's not washing them?
So one more thing,
not washing them.
Tony would miss several days of school, right?
Yeah.
Is it because she just didn't want to go? He was too lazy to get out the bed? Or
wait, what happened with school?
Junie would miss several days out of school, like she wouldn't go to school.
Oh, he took her to school every day when I was there.
Oh, he did take her to school.
Yeah, and I was there also. I mean, also through a summer. There was a summer break and regular school. He always took her, from what I know.
It was one more question. I'm sorry, I'm being nosy. When he took her out of school early, when Papa Obidi was here, did he tell you about that?
Oh yeah.
We can talk about it later. I just wanted to know.
I know that he like suspected some things, and he asked me to. He's like, just keep a watchful eye, record anything that June might say if she kind of lets anything slip about her feeling uncomfortable. So that is what I was doing, and so I was just objectively documenting the whole time, though, because I'm like, I don't know who's right here, but I'm just gonna have accurate receipts of what happened, because I'm like,
So he had you stalking Cora's live, or just watching?
No, absolutely not.
Does he watch her? Does he watch her lives? I know he does.
Probably. I mean, I think he used to, but he got to a point where he it was I guess too much for him. So it's him and his mom. Just his mom calls him every day to update him. And look what she did now. Do you see? I'm like, bro, separate the umbilical cord. Cut the umbilical cord.
Mama was stalking Cora?
His mom, she is his assistant detective, okay?
Oh, Mama, we're gonna have to drag her ass.
Because I'm like, it's unhealthy.
And her name Janice. So she's stalking Cora and she giving him all the updates.
It's sad. And I'm like, I didn't go to
and
the
her
court.
mama my age, so I can drag her ass. We both old. Okay.
Right. But it's like from when he calls his ex-wife a whore in front of her, and I'm like, oh, this lady has no backbone. She's just, she doesn't have a voice in the home, I assume. Like, it's just, she's probably from that time. It is what it is. And
what's his mama name? Is it Janice?
I think so. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Oh, Mama Dean. With your messy ass.
I was so hopeful that the kid's grandma would kind of rein him in. And so when they were leaving, he was driving her to the airport at 5 a.m. Like before that, I wrote a note and kind of just let her know the concerns that I had that he was ignoring. And I guess she kind of like snitched to him, and he was like, "And you dare harass my mother?" And I'm like, "Just never mind, Jesus." I'm like, so.
He said that was another thing. He said that you used to fuss at him in front of his mom.
I used to cuss. First of all, his mom was only there for a day and a half. I don't know. And I actually, she was giving we were trading hair tips. Actually, she was talking about how she doesn't have time to practice on like biracial hair. We were sharing tips on, like what to do once the kid's hair is trimmed. We had very respectful interactions. And the only time I may have cursed or may have gotten upset was when he told me that, like, pretty much like gave like you're dismissed vibes. Like, oh, why would I tell the kids that you're leaving? You're, like you're irrelevant. I might have cursed then, but I'm not the one I don't speak inappropriately to any other kids. He does that though.
Does he talk about Cora's money?
Oh, geez. Yeah.
A lot, like,
just accuse it, just kind of slipping it into conversation. Like, yeah, she lies about how much money she had. Like June said something, and she's like, I wanted to buy like a video game or something, and she was like, but I asked my mom, but she only has $13. And June just picks a random number and just goes with it, just all the time, right? So I'm like, obviously she's joking. And he just gets in there with his stiff energy, and he was like, that's a lie. Trust me, your mom has money. She's just not telling you. And I'm like, what? It doesn't matter. The girl's 5. Why does she?
So he's telling Junie that her mom is a liar.
Yeah. And actually, I had to have a private conversation with June, and I'm like, hey, I just want you to make sure you tell the truth. I know that your dad is probably telling you like, oh, your mom lies, whatever. But I'm like, just be honest. If you have to go in front of a judge or whatever, just be honest, because if he's doing the same thing that he does with a lot of people, he's just coaching her to say, yeah, mom is a liar, and that's not actually happening, because she did kind of say that to me. She's like, so dad says mom lies sometimes, but what is it? But when she like tells the truth, sometimes he still tells me to say that she lies, and I'm like, oh, I don't know what to do here. So and it's difficult for me.
Oh my God. So wait a minute. So, okay.
Someone said Junie told us he's a broke ass, please.
You said what now?
Somebody said Junie told us he's a broke ass. That's funny. So I mean, he has money now for sure.
Has he ever, have you ever heard, or have Junie ever said to you that he may have said something to where mommy go live, misbehave or say this or say that?
Crazy. He's not above that. I haven't seen it or heard it, but it's possible. Like the amount of like the level of petty and how much he wants to just win, just to embarrass her, it's possible. Because
it seemed like it was a time when Junie would kind of say kind of off the wall things when she was she was on live,
Jeez. Oh my gosh. Okay. I don't know.
But he would tell Junie, you heard him yourself tell Junie that your mother's a liar. And Junie said to you outside of him, he says mommy lied. And sometimes when mommy tells the truth, he's still saying that she's lying.
Yep. Mm-hmm. And June apologized for him when he wasn't going to tell her I was leaving. But I'm like, I deserve closure as well. I too am a human. So I told her, and she like ran to the door and gave me a hug, and it was like the saddest thing. And she was like, "It's okay. You can just go on like vacation for 2 days, and then you can come back, and Dad will apologize to you, and everything will be okay. You don't have to leave." And I'm like, "Oh, baby, no, he's never gonna apologize. It's okay." But it was so sad. I'm like, your daughter, your 5-year-old, has more emotional intelligence than you. Like, what? You're gonna break up the stability that you have in this home just because you want to move around. Now you've gotten bored of a woman who's in your house. You want new visuals. What?
My stomach just turned, and
I know. So I'm like, I felt so selfish because I'm like, I was willing to pretend her and her dad. Me and her dad were leaving on good terms, fake it for the kids. I'm like, I don't even have kids, and I know that it's best to just pretend that, there's no issue.
So did Junie and Athena think that you and her dad was a couple?
No. But that's one thing that we both made clear. He's like, I don't want the kids to be confused. We are, you are the nanny. We were never like cuddle up together or anything. We were never, there was nothing ever like romantic or anything non-platonic, that the kids saw. I don't know. I mean, the kids probably saw him in bed with other women. But yeah, not me. Because I'm like, wow. Again, if I know someone's traumatizing their kids, I can't in good conscience add to the trauma just by like, oh, well, I like your dad this much, so I don't care how much it's going to traumatize you. Like, what?
Wow. Okay. Yeah. Well, thank you, Najiba. You and I, we have each other's number, so just know we will reconnect. Mm-hmm. And you're on East Coast because you're in New York. I'm Central Time because I'm in Texas. So
okay,
we will connect. No worries. Mm-hmm. And I'll give you a list of questions that I have for you the next time you come back. Okay, but let us get to know each other a little bit. Okay.
Yeah. All right. Thank you so much.
Thank you so very much, sweetie. I appreciate you so much. Okay.
Of course. Yes. And thank you, everybody who sent copies. I feel very special. I appreciate it. I've been in the trenches.
Okay. Talk to you soon.
Okay.
And subscribe to my channel, honey. Subscribe to my channel, baby.
Yes, ma'am. I'll do that right now.
Okay. Talk to you later.
Mm-hmm.
Okay,
bye.
Wow. Oh, Justin Dean. Let me tell you something about a narcissist. The things that he was trying to accuse Cora of, and that is, oh, she talks bad about me in front of my kids. I knew he was doing that to her. I just knew it. I knew it, And what I was saying, what turned my stomach is to think that Junie, don't think for one moment that this is not something that she's going to remember later. You know what I mean? This is something that Junie is hearing her daddy saying, your mother's a liar. And Junie saying, even when mommy tells the truth, he still says that she's lying. You don't think this is something that Junie thinks about? I know she's only 5 years old, but she's going to get older remembering her daddy saying, mommy's a liar. Mommy lie about this. Mommy lie about that. Mommy lie about this. And I'm sure there's other things that baby Junie done heard her daddy say about mommy, unfortunately. She said, now I didn't lie like people try to say. That's right. Everybody owe Amelia an apology, honey, because Amelia was not lying. And honey, y'all was attacking her in the comments. So everybody, please just tell, I'm going to tell them for y'all. Okay, Amelia, they sorry. Okay, they sorry. You was right on it. Thank you, baby Amelia, for making that happen. All right. That's crazy. So I do have her number. We are going to be in communication with each other, and I want her to feel comfortable. Oh, you know what? I forgot to ask her. Remind me, I'm going to compile a list, but one of the things that I wanted to know was, did he send her a cease and desist? So if you're in the comments, you could, if you're in the comments, never mind. We'll find out. I just want to know, did he try to send her a cease and desist? Because if somebody send you that doesn't mean a damn thing. They just said, please stop talking about me, please. Can you please stop talking about me? It don't hold no water. All right. It don't hold no weight, She said, I'm worried about those girls when they are with him. Oh, honey, I'm sure he's going to fill their heads. And even as they get older, he's going to continue to fill their heads over and over. Oh, my God. It's going to be crazy. He's going to definitely fill their heads with any and everything possible or whatever to draw a wedge in between their mother. And the fact that we're going to talk about, not today, because I don't want this live to be no 4-hour live. So we're about to hop off. But however, the fact that he says, stop that. Stop dancing like that. That's why I left your mother. What? 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 The nerve. But listen, like she said, when one of the black girls broke up with him, he said, well, at least, it's not like she was Cora. Wow, wow, wow. I guess Cora girl, you done left some big shoes to be filled. Do you hear me? It's not like she was a Cora. Sound like Justin want her back to me. But Justin Dean mama. I've never said anything about his mama because I didn't really know that she was all involved like that. You know what I'm saying? But I might have to say a few words about his old mama. That pissed me off. Gonna stalk her lives into my. Look what she did today. Look at what she said today. So mama was going to courtroom being all nasty and one-sided. Mama Dean, girl. She probably listening to me right now. Mama Dean, I'm going to look into you. I am. I might have to do a whole series and breakdown on your ass. Mama Dean. Mama Dean. She the one created him. She made him the way he is right now. You know what I mean? Is that her name, Janice? Janice, Janie? Is that how you said Janice Dean? Mama Dean. I'm going to call her ass Mama Dean. She need to be read her damn rights. She old hater. I didn't know she was a hater like that. See, y'all didn't tell me that she was a hater like that. Y'all didn't tell me she was a hater like that now. Oh, Mama Dean. Shame on you. Shame on you. Stalking Cora. Oh, stalking ass. Woo. Mama Dean, you should be ashamed of yourself. Fashion Joy says she is the biggest enabler and doesn't care about her son's mental health. Well, apparently she calling him, talking about, look what she done said now. Look what she doing now. You got the mother-in-law? The ex-mother-in-law stalking her. She old messy. Y'all, we got a lot to talk about. She said, I did more. You told me that Mama Dean was off the hook. You told me? Child, I must didn't read your comment because Mama Dean is full of it from. But I'm going to talk to Najiba and find out more information and we'll bring her back, okay? But Mama Dean, I'm not liking her. I'm not liking her at all. Somebody said, yes, she is a hater. She leaves long-ass posts on bloggers dragging Cora. What? Y'all got to send me one of them. I don't know if it's recently or old, but you got to send me one of her posts dragging Cora. Oh, she likes to. Oh. Y'all got to send me one in my inbox. Oh, Mama Dean. Yeah, we're going to have to put a little light on Mama Dean. She said, Justin watched this and it's about to lock himself in a room for 24 hours. Janet said he about to lock himself in the room. So I knew something was up with her when she cut June hair without asking Cora. She was looking disgusted and said that her hair was matted. Mama Dean cut Judy hair? Honey, y'all done left some information out. Mama Dean cut Judy hair. Lord mercy. Cora didn't get mad. Oh my God. I need to be in Cora's shoes for 5 nights. You hear me? Oh my gosh. She said, Janice laughing, spill my wine. You owe me 3 bottles of rose wine. Liz said you owe her some wine, Janice. Janice, you owe Liz some wine. Mama Dean and Let me tell you something about mother-in-laws. You got to be careful because when they got something against the mother of the child, you got to be real careful. I'm not saying that they can't love their grandkids, because we can. But honey, you got to be careful if they got so much hate against the mother of that child. Be careful. You got to be careful. Very careful. Listen, but look, I want to get back on, not tonight, because I don't want to make this no 4 hours. Y'all know it's 4 hours. It's hard to edit. And I may have to go in there and edit some stuff out. But listen to this right quick. The way that Justin views Black women, we need to talk about that, you guys. We need to talk about how he thinks taking them out to dinner, they feel obligated to give them some coochie. I hope y'all women ain't out there giving out coochie for no damn steak and potatoes. We need to talk about this. We need to talk about this. Okay? Damn. What is wrong? Steak and potatoes? We need to talk. We got a few things that we need to talk about, okay? We need to talk about Justin Dean mama. Mama Dean with her messy, nasty, trashy ass. We need to talk about her, but we also need to talk about y'all giving it up to these white men sliding in their inboxes for a pasta meal. Now, we ain't giving up no goodies for no damn food. We have arrived. We can buy our own self steak and potatoes. We're going to have a conversation about that another day. Damn, I'm glad I'm married, because Lord Jesus, I would never get none if all I'm getting is steak and potatoes. Woo! Jesus. Coochie cows. Damn. She said coochie for some cow. JD. He said it's so easy with the blue check mark. Does he have a blue check mark? It's so easy with the blue check mark. He talking about on Instagram, right? Hold on. So we have the blue check mark on Facebook. Does he? But anybody can get a blue check mark. Does he know that? I hope women know that you could just pay $14.99 or something like that for a blue check mark. That joker said anybody. That joker said it's easy to get people sliding in your DMs with the blue check mark. Lord Jesus. I'm going to need you women to stop sliding in men inboxes, okay? That's what we're going to talk about. We're going to have a conversation about that. But listen, I'm about to close out this live because I do not want 4 hours, but we're going to come back now. I'm going to talk to Najiba, and we're going to have a conversation. Now, it's some things that she's leaving out, and, and it's okay. She has a right to, reserve some information. You know what I'm saying? She has a right. But we're going to find out some things, okay? All right? We're going to find out some things. So just make sure y'all hit that notification bell so you will be notified when we are going to have that interview. Now, you hit the subscribe button and the notification, and that lets you know every time I post and say I'm going live, okay? All right? So we about to end it here. This was an impromptu interview, okay? So we will have an official interview with questions that she'll let me know if she feels comfortable with answering. And if she don't want to answer anything, we're not going to pressure her to answer something that she does not want to answer, okay? Now, if you have particular questions that you would like for me to ask her, you can either email me at talkaboutitwithamore, or you can jump in my inbox and just say, ask her this or ask her that. But just know, just because you ask me to ask her does not mean that she's going to answer. Okay, we have to be respectful of that. But somebody call him Dookie Proctor. Skid Row. Oh my God. Oh, and he got the nerve to be talking about somebody out here in these streets, baby. Mama Dean, you should have taught your boy how to clean his ass. You failed him is what you did. Okay. Listen. Now, us black mamas, I know me. I don't know about y'all. We went in there and we bathed our child. I know I did when my son was 10 years old. I said, get your butt in here. Because you know when they get out of the shower and they still stink, they still musty, you like, get your butt back in here. Now, and we sit there and watch him take a bath. Now, I don't know about y'all, but I done got in front of my, when he was a child, he grown now, he's 33. But I done scrubbed up on his arm and I'm like, open them legs. Let me show you how to take care of this. You ain't gonna be, you know what I mean, honey? Listen, you gotta do what you gotta do as a mama, okay? Am I the only one that done washed her boy? Because I had to wash my boy when he was 10 years old, okay? I had to show him how it's done. Turn around. Get your butt. Don't you come out of here stinking like that no more. You know what I'm saying? Mama Dean, you failed your boy. He's 36 years old and still shitting in his drawers. Who want to be? Ooh, child. Who want to be with somebody in there? Y'all better be careful jumping in people's DMs. You're going to go on a slippery slide. Okay? Can you imagine that? Ew. That's just nasty. Look, the haters don't like hearing that Justin don't wash his ass. I done had about 50 people stage left already. Oh my God, that's hilarious. They mad. Talking about some, he don't wash his ass. He's so clean. He washes his ass. No, he don't. Not if he got skid marks. You better get back there. Get in there tonight. Y'all better stop playing with me. Anyway, Mama Dean, we got to have a conversation. Mama Dean, with your nosy, messy, troublemaking ass. Normally mothers try to maintain peace, but you messy mother sucker. Yeah, I'm going to have to rip into that old mama's ass, honey, child, because I want y'all to send me some of the long-ass texts y'all say she leave up under that dragging Cora. Honey, after I finish with her, she ain't going to drag Cora no more. I'm going to drag her ass. You hear me? I don't even know what she looked like. I think I seen her one time, but I can't remember what she looked like. But I'm going to drag his mama. So go on and run and tell that. I'm going to drag his mama right here on Talk About It with a Morning. All right? I'm going to give her a good old-fashioned drag. Especially now that I know she be over there advocating, going back, telling him shit when they already divorced. And she was about to be a witness for him, for her son. I understand loving your son and everything, but your son is a grown-ass, bitter baby daddy. And it's because of you. I'm going to drag him. I'm going to drag him, but I'm going to drag Mama Dean. I am. Yes, I am. Anyway. Thank y'all so very much for pulling up. We had an impromptu interview with the nanny. We will have another one, okay? We will have another one. Just know that. Thank you guys so very much. Thank you, Neely. She said, can we see her for a second? Make sure it's her. Yes, it was her, honey. She said, let's support a more platform with this interview. Honey, it's okay. Thank you, Sonia. I appreciate it, but it's okay. It was blessed. Her being here was blessed. Thank you, Fashion Joy. Appreciate you guys. Listen, somebody said, hold on. Let me give a shout out to this person. She said, hold on. What was the name? I think Lakeisha. Let me just make sure. Hold on one second. Lakeisha. Was it? Lakeisha. You said, hey, Amora, I noticed that you didn't call out all the cash apps. I sent you something. Thank you so much, Lakeisha and Jenny, because those are two that I did miss. Jenny, you know who you are, baby. Not Jenny, but you know what I'm talking about. Angel, my sweetness. Thank you so much. I appreciate you and Lakeisha. I appreciate you guys as well, okay? Thank y'all. I'm about to get off here because I'm going to have to do some edits, just small edits of this video. And when you make them too long, YouTube don't want you to go back in there and edit your videos. Why, I don't know. All right. So we about to sign off. Make sure y'all hit that thumb button, but subscribe to the channel and set your notifications because the next interview is going to be fire and desire. Okay. Love y'all. Have a good night. Bye.
Jay! Can't make $1 without mentioning down one of our names. Period. She kept talking about that family. Can't make $1. She kept talking about that family. 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 That family. She kept talking about that family. Talking about that family. Clock that team. Clock that team. Because they can't make $1 without mentioning down one of our names. Child, we finna talk about this with a moral. That family.
Tell these motherfuckers to bless me hell.
That family.
These motherfuckers don't be wanting to bless no damn body.
That family.
Jay!
That family.
Tell these motherfuckers to bless me.